Hey, mi gente. So this next guest is not just a journalist. He is our journalist. Better yet, he's my journalist. Covering everything from hurricanes to headlines to what did what and who did who in Wilton Manors. And yes, let's be honest, there's a little celebrity gossip in there too, all right? Please welcome one of my besties and community storyteller, John Hayden.
Woo!
Yay, John! John, I almost don't recognize you without the pasties, Papi.
I know. It's cold out there today. It's cold out. If I had pasties, we'd be seeing more nipple than Janet at the Super Bowl show. I mean, it's cold out there today.
God, do you remember that when that happened? Nipplegate, I think, right? What did they call it?
I have never seen America. I was young then. We freak out all the time now. But I've never seen America freak out that much over like 0.7 of a second of nipple. I mean, oh my God, Americans lose their shit. But turns out that's our new export.
100%. It's like the things that you couldn't get away with before, and then you look at now, and it's like, oh, that was nothing. That was a Tuesday afternoon. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh man, John, thank you so much for being back in bed with me. I love what you're doing. I love what you're into now. We'll get into that in a second. I just want to say that you're one of my best friends. We talk every freaking day, at least 5 times a day. Everything that you do for our community comes from the heart, from the soul, from that bald head of yours. And, you've covered everything from American Idol to elections to hurricanes, all the big, fast-moving stories. So what made you shift your focus to hyper-local LGBTQ plus coverage and really telling the stories of Greater Wilton Manors, of all of us also?
Yeah. Well, and you just said it. That's my new brand, Greater Wilton Manors, and we'll get into that in a second. But what made me change? It was pandemic to start the party rolling. I was an entertainment journalist. I did a local, very fun show called Deco Drive. It was entertainment news and celebrity gossip. Oh, it was so much fun. But all those interviews, like where you see people sitting right across from the stars of a movie and stuff, during COVID, obviously, all that stopped. And now only really big movies like Wicked movies, if they did another Pirates of the Caribbean or Fast and Furious, those type of movies are getting the junkets. But there's just not the every week travel anymore. So that wasn't coming back. And honestly, that was my favorite part of the job.
Yeah.
And as you're well aware, I'm still dining off those stories 6 years later. But I wanted to get out. I didn't want to do the commute every day. That was the selfish part. And honestly, when I first started, I was like, I'm just going to be, I'm going to get web gigs. I'm never going to have to leave my house. And then I started doing a little work here. Well, I was already working for OutClick, and then Out South Florida, which was SFGN at the time.
Wow.
And God bless Norm. We miss you.
Norm Kent, R.I.P.
And I just sort of kept becoming, doing more and more and making more and more contacts. And it just sort of wended its way to here, your bed.
When that happened and you were at that transition, right? Did you ever even think for a second, maybe I'll leave this area? Maybe I'll leave Florida?
No.
Never. Not even because you just love the heat that much.
I've been here, at the time I'd only been here about 20 years, or 15 years. And I love it. I've had opportunities that I could have moved on to, some of the other major networks or the cable nets or whatever, but it just wasn't for me.
Yeah.
I wanted to stay here.
Yeah.
And because this is my home.
This is home. His home is beautiful. And, you get to a certain point where it's just this is home, right? It's not where you're from, it's where you're at, and it's where you call home, Whenever I got a new gig, I would move. So I moved to LA to do radio. I moved to New York to do radio. I moved to San Francisco to do radio, right? But I would always keep on coming back to South Florida, because South Florida used to be cheap, okay? Also, back in the day, that's not the case anymore,
Yeah.
And it was always this was market 12, so it wasn't like market 1. You could still kind of find your way around. Yeah. And then it kind of became, like you said, like home. And then it's like, I don't want to leave this place. I want to advocate for this place, Yeah. And I feel the same way from you. John, how long have we known each other now?
Almost 5 years.
Wow.
Almost 5 years. We met in September of 21.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Was I mean to you when we first met?
No.
Wow.
No. But you come with an open mind, but you were annoyed. You were annoyed those first couple of shows because you don't want to have to train a new person. You don't want someone to find out, oh my God, can they talk? Do they have a clue?
Are they here to take my spot?
Yeah.
Damn it! All those things. This Deco Drive guy, I see him looking at me, But after that, I think that we just gravitated to each other, for sure. When we met, we were both kind of in a bit of a reinvention, and a shift, so to speak, Do you feel that you found exactly where you're supposed to be?
I don't, because I thought I felt that before. And that sort of allows you to tune out the journey and say, no, I'm good. So no, I don't feel that way now. I'm kind of like open, because I was a television producer. I was never really on air except maybe like in a fun skit on Deco or something like that. And somebody actually had to tell me I was a reporter. Like, I was doing all this writing and stuff, and they're like, okay, well, you're a community reporter now. And I'm like, wait, what? Because like, it was so ingrained that it's never my story to tell. I'm not in charge. And I was like, wow, wait, because that word comes with a lot of responsibility.
It does.
It really does. And so to be able to be a reporter and over the years make friendships, make contacts, and people trust me to tell their stories.
Yeah.
And that, honest to God, is the best part of the job, is that people want their stories told and they believe that I can tell the stories. And that means the world to me.
What I also know that there's certain people that are scared shitless of you.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I mean? That that are scared of and again, and now just thinking about it, some people are scared because you're gonna tell the truth. You're gonna tell the truth. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna research the story to hell, okay?
Yeah.
And you are gonna find the missing parts that people don't just naturally see, and you're gonna report about it no matter what.
Yep.
Do you have friends that are like, there's John Hayden off the record.
I do. Yeah. They're always like, shh, the press is here. And I'm like, I'm not the press, I'm John. But I am the press.
He is the press. But after like a couple of drinks, then he's like, no, just press me. I'm not the press. I'm not the press right now, John, what are people missing? Because as for me, like as a lesbian, as part of the LGBTQ plus community, one of the things that really grabbed me about Queer News Tonight was that we were doing stories that were not on the regular news channels, okay?
Right.
But these were stories that affected our community like none other. And they still weren't doing those stories, right?
Yeah.
What are people missing when they ignore stories like this, local stories like the ones that you cover?
They're missing their community slipping away. They're missing their community changing, and not all change is bad, but you need to know about it. And so when let me sort of look at it from 10,000 feet. Channel 7, 6, 10, any of your local affiliates out there.
ABC, CBS, and NBC, all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah. They, like down here, there are 32 municipalities in Broward alone. There's probably another 30 down in Miami-Dade, all the different keys. And so it's not cost feasible. It's not logistically feasible to have someone covering every single thing. You just can't afford it, right? But I am able to, as an independent journalist, I've got 4 local outlets, including Happening Out TV, Queer News Tonight. I've got 4 outlets, and so I'm able to go in. I can go and see what shenanigans a particular city council is trying to pull. I can find out, you're planning this party, but you don't have this and this done yet? Is this party really going to happen? Every community should have its own reporter looking out for them. But it's not every community can.
It's not possible.
So I can, though. I can do more. And so, getting to cover Little Pompano, some Lauderdale by the Sea, Oakland Park, Wilton Manors, part of Fort Lauderdale.
That's a big chunk, though.
It's a good
John.
chunk.
That's a big chunk, and some major stories come out of that right there.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From our crosswalks to our new bike rack, to Seagrape Drive, Donald Trump Avenue, or whatever the hell they want to call it. These are huge stories.
Yeah.
And you're only one guy, and you're still making that happen. I mean, like you didn't just say, I'm going to do the drive. You know what I mean? I'm going to do everything surrounding it as well, because we are there.
Right. And that's why I call my new my Facebook group and my my YouTube channel Greater Wilton Manners. And there's a lot of meaning behind that, if you don't mind me going into
Please, I was about to ask you that.
So everybody, in Broward, and Fort Lauderdale is great. Fort Lauderdale is awesome. I personally live in Fort Lauderdale. But everything is it's Fort Lauderdale and around. It's Greater Fort Lauderdale. And calling it Greater Wilton Manners reminds us that all of these little towns matter. And we all interact with each other, and we all need each other.
Yeah.
So to say Greater Wilton Manners, it means that not everything happens in Fort Lauderdale. It says that the epicenter for stuff that's really going on is in the small towns, and especially LGBTQ. I'm mostly associated with out South Florida and the gay community.
Love you, out South Florida.
Because and Wilton Manors is really the spiritual heart of South Florida's gay community. So while Oakland Park and Lauderdale by the Sea and all that, they're great, they're important, and there are so many stories to tell. I cover Wilton a little more because everything that affects LGBTQ plus sort of radiates out from Wilton Manors. So calling it Greater Wilton Manors means that, one, we are greater than we think we are. It says, two, that Wilton Manors and all these little places, like I said, they matter, and they've got great stories to tell.
Yeah.
And I've got like my MacBook has got at least 2 gigabytes worth of stories that are waiting for me to tell. I mean, there's all so much stuff going on.
Oh my God! Well, I love it. I love it. What's one story that you've covered recently that really stayed with you?
That stayed with me, and the one that's really staying with me goes back to just when we were on Queer News last week on Wednesday, and we talked about how they're trying to change our trans brothers and sisters' names, sending them the IDs back, with dead naming them, dead gendering them. I mean, it's all vile stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so that stays with me. And last Wednesday wasn't the first time we've talked about that particular issue. And that just hurts me, because a lot of times we can dodge the hate, like, I'm just not going to go today. I'm just not going to go out there. I'm only going to go here. But when it comes to your front door, when it's delivered by the United States Postal Service, there's an act of officiality about that just makes it hurt a little bit more. And honestly, it's those things that drive me to do what I do. I think about that, but then I think, in March we've got T-Dub coming up, Trans Day of Visibility, and that's always such a happy occasion, because it says we're out here and
we're visible,
and we can come out and we can support our trans brothers and sisters. So I try to find a little. You said something to me last Wednesday.
What?
You looked on the show and you were like, "You're Mr. Brightside today." And you're never Mr. Brightside.
Okay, you have to understand that sometimes, John could be Mr. Grumpy. It's not anything, you know what I mean? But again, going back to what I said before, because he is not going to BS. He is going to be truthful about what it is, and it's not pretty sometimes. So, unfortunately, he becomes the bearer of that kind of bad news sometimes on Queer, And last week, I don't know if Mr. had sex or whatever, but there was a bright side to every story we had, and that never happens.
I am. I'm just sunshine and roses, Faye.
God, but there's so much being thrown at us at any given time, John. How do people deal with news fatigue? Because this is my job, and I deal with that, right? Where there's some times where I won't turn on a TV, or I won't go look for certain news. And it's my job to stay on top of that. But I'm like, the cup runneth over,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do,
So how do you deal with that?
Well, part of it was leaving broadcast.
Network TV.
Especially like the last 15 years of my career at
on his
television,
computer.
On my computer. But it all comes at you. You can get the video right on your computer. You don't have to take a tape older viewers know what that is. You have to take a tape and walk over to a different place that plays it. Like, it all came to your computer, and you're getting the Associated Press news headlines just flashing across at you, and it's beep beep, and all these sounds, and it drives you crazy after a while, and it depresses you. It depresses the hell out of you. Like, my doctor was like, you should get on weed. I have my doctor saying you need to chill out and
you need some weed, sir. That's crazy when your doctor's telling you that. You know. But I remember that time, and I was so happy that you took your doctor's concerns and advice and sat with it and made certain decisions about how you were going to live, how you were going to love, how you were going to do day to day, you know, because it meant your mental health. And that's all of us, we forget about taking care of ourselves, and especially when we're trying to make sure that our community's taken care of, and with so much access to news and stuff like that, sometimes this community feels like they know it all and they don't know anything that's going on. Like, they're getting louder instead of more knowledgeable, and that's up to you to like, okay, masses, this is what's really going on. And that's a big undertaking, when I say my bestie John, journalist, right? That word comes with heaviness and a positive and in a negative way.
And part of Greater Wilton Manors is to focus more on the community. The bike racks, which takes 5 minutes to go down, shoot a little video, and put it out there. Like, hey, this is what we're saying. Little prides, community picnics, park rededications. Those things are important to our community. But they're not the headline grabbing, and honestly, they don't need 2.5 minutes on television to tell that story. But they do need 30 to 40 seconds. And the fact that I can help do that. Now, that said, once I left 7, I did start to make my reputation in this community by going after organizations that were being shady. And even though I'm here to be your happy community reporter, I'm still going to go after those people. And I don't care if you're trying to scam my community, I will go after you, whether it is autumn, spring, winter, or summer. I will continue to follow. They have my promise on that.
And they know that. I could just feel the fear right now. John, you're passionate about your friends, your community, and, I love that about you. But be real. What's a normal day look like to you? Do you, sit at the pub and hear what stories you want to cover? Do people, do you go look at both your pets and go, what are we going to cover today? Like, what does a normal day look like to you in John Hayden world?
Well, I get up.
Are you an early riser?
Is 10 o'clock early? Well, I mean, it is today. It is today because I'm in bed with you. No, I get up at 10 and feed my cat, Figaro, and my dog, Mr. Beaglesworth, both of whom you brought into my life.
I did. It's not even a joke.
No, that's no joke. Yeah, I have my boys because Faye constantly looks out for our animal companions, and you advocate for them so well. So that's how I start my day, and that's also generally how I end it. Walking the dog and giving him dinner and going to bed. In between, I try to just kind of chill in the morning. I don't like to turn on the TV. I just sort of do not meditation, but just quiet. I check my email, which isn't, for me, that's a quiet event. For me, that's a non-stress. I'll check Drudge Report once a day or a couple times a day, and that sort of just lets me know where all the national news is, and I can just say nothing that I need to pay attention to on this, and then I can just focus on the local, and that's a lot easier, And then I'll write. I'll figure out events, do email, and all that. And then most of the time, if I'm going out, if I'm out in the field covering a story, it's in the evening. It's after 4 o'clock. Okay. And sometimes I do end up at the pub. But that is a vital part of my job, is to walk the drive, walk up and down A1A in Lauderdale by the Sea, and just see what the mood is. Stop in. I like to try and get to know the waiters. I like to try and get to know the dancers at Johnson's. Strictly for professional purposes. Of course.
Research. We call it research.
But that way, I want people to see me. I want people to see me out at their businesses, because I don't want it to be like John's name popped up on the caller ID. I don't want that.
Yeah.
And
You're always going to get a little of that.
Oh,
John.
absolutely. I'm
You know
always
what I
gonna get
mean?
a
Which
little.
comes with the territory,
Right.
But I understand what you're trying to
But
say.
yeah, I want people to know that when I call, a lot of times it will be oh, hey, I just saw you're hosting an event in a couple weeks. Can you give me a quote?
Yeah.
I see that, wait, this event was canceled? What happened?
What happened?
Let me tell your story.
It's more of a collaboration.
It is. It's a collaboration with the community. That's excellent. Yeah.
Can folks send you stuff? Like if there is like, I mean, and I'm not saying please, we don't have a problem with the opening of the bodega next door. I'm okay with that, but I don't mean that. You know what I mean? There could be a trying situation that's going on, LGBTQ plus wise or otherwise, in your neighborhood that you might say like, wow, no one's gotten here to see this. I mean, could somebody send you something like that? I mean, I'm not saying you have to cover it, but.
Oh, I love story submissions.
Okay, good.
And it's john.jmhcreative@gmail.com. It's pretty simple. But I do love that because people can email me and say like, oh, hey, this is going on. And I'm like, I can't cover that story, but maybe it's an arts and entertainment story. And I'll be like, oh, but my friend Rick Carlin can.
Yes.
And I will forward it on to them. And I can help people make connections. So even if I can't cover your story, maybe I'll do a social media post. Sometimes that's enough. Even if we just move another 5 to 10 tickets to a show with an interview or a little story.
Yeah.
That's helping advance our cause. That's helping
100%.
advance our community, our arts, our culture, our friendships. Yeah. So yeah, send me everything, and I'll do my best to get it to someone who can treat it well.
There you go. Let's talk about your dad.
Oh,
so I love your dad.
Hey,
your dad. Hi. I think I met your dad the first year that you and I met.
Yeah.
He always comes to visit from
Indianapolis.
Indianapolis, somewhere cold.
Yeah.
And he's one of the funniest dudes I've ever met. Like, he is just a funny dude. And it's just funny about things you don't expect to be funny, right? It's just like, very like, very how the plates are put on the table. He makes it funny, you're so different in a way, and so alike in other ways also, where it's like mirror image on certain things as well. This love for and this compassion for community, does that come from your dad?
Yes, not directly. I mean, dad was never like, oh, no community, no, it doesn't, but it doesn't come directly from that. It comes from being taught by my dad, my mom, my grandparents. I was raised by a village, on both sides of my family. And we were always just sort of taught to treat everyone with respect. And the fact that I grew up and announced at 10 that I was going to do work in television, and then just never changed my major since fourth grade. They embrace it and they just let me grow. And so, but as far as dad has just been my rock for my lifetime. Oh, too much to go into here. But Dad and I have just a great relationship. He's been down here for going on 3 months now, for the winter, and he's just enjoying it. I mean, like, look, Dad, you can sit inside and watch television in Indianapolis and not have the opportunity to go outside, or you can sit inside, watch television in Fort Lauderdale and still be able to go outside.
Right.
But we've just been having a great time. The Olympics wrapped a couple of days ago. We had so much fun.
Oh,
I haven't been at a lot of events these last couple of weeks, as you're aware, because I've been home watching Olympics. I had Olympic fever. It was fantastic. And so just that my dad and I can do that and go out to restaurants and just, Dad's been to Pub and Alba. He's been to, if we like it, Dad's been there.
Yeah, so, I took him through the back way of the Eagle with a harness and everything, and he was like, let's go. I'm down for whatever. I mean, those are the kind of people I want around me, right? People who uplift me, bring me joy, and are down for whatever. And that's John's dad, basically. You know what I mean? He's like, I'm down for whoever, whatever, introduce me to whoever the hell you want. I am yours. And I'm like, all right, let's go. Let's go to Johnson's. I mean... All right, John. So you know that I don't let anybody leave here without a little bit of chaos. So let's play our game. Say what with FayWhat. All right. No thinking, no journalist answers, just vibes, just quick. All right. Here we go. Breaking news or breaking tea?
Breaking tea.
Chocolate or caramel?
Caramel.
Wilton Manors night out or couch with Fig and Mr. Beaglesworth?
Oh, Figgy and Mr. B.
Hurricane coverage or Pride Parade coverage?
Pride Parade coverage.
RuPaul's Drag Race or a Wilton Manors commission meeting? I'll answer for you. Drag Race. Your phone or your peace of mind?
My phone.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. Before I let you go, I think I was telling you beforehand, I need to have you back again soon, just so we could talk about future events and events that we go to, because we're always at the same events together, and it's like, are you going to be there? Are you going to be there? I'll meet you at the door. What events are you off the top of your head? What events are you looking forward to? Like somebody came up to me the other day and was like, "You announced the Stonewall Pride Parade," and I was like, "Yes, it's one of my favorite things to do in life is to announce the Stonewall Pride Parade and Festival, and that's coming up in June. All right,
Yeah.
we got a couple of months till that.
Right.
But I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to one magical weekend, going up to Orlando and having that weekend. But that's still a couple months away. What do you? Is there something that's coming up that you're looking forward to going?
Well, I am looking forward to AIDS Walk.
Yes, Florida AIDS Walk is going to be amazing.
And that is, it's such a great event. It's still a very important event. And it's a day to get out, and it just kind of gives me hope. You know, sometimes when it's a really bad week, but then you have this community event, and you see like, okay, some people are still listening. There are still messengers to carry out the message. And so I love that. Tony Lima's gala for Sunsurf.
Shine Gala is coming up.
Yep.
Also, he's right there looking at you.
Oh, that's creepy. St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's
There's going to
Day
be
is
some fun stuff, you know. And I like to wear green, and I'm not a basic bitch. Don't put a little food coloring in beer and call it St. Patrick's Day. No, I'm like full Leprechaun experience.
Yes.
I want to rent the movie Leprechaun. I want to drink something with Midori sour and like full on green hookers.
Yes. Well, listen, go to the pub because they always go like above and beyond with their green stuff, and everybody goes like crazy. And I love them over there. Hi, Alexander, and everybody over there at the pub. We so adore you, John. So, you know, you're our storyteller, you're our community voice, you're a dog dad, you're a cat dad. Look at the shirt. I love the shirt. Yeah, right? And truly, you are one of the most incredible folks that I know. And it means so much to me that we're part of each other's world and that we're able to steal each other for, you know, advice, tears, laughter, or just to be shady about people, because sometimes we just do that. Yeah.
I love a little shade. I love tea in the shade.
Thank you for always showing up for our community and for being you. Please tell everybody where to follow you, and also let us know about the Greater Wilton Manors page.
Yeah, Greater Wilton Manors is a group on Facebook, and everybody's welcome to post. My YouTube channel, Greater Wilton Manors, I put all my videos from all my stories. I do little 3-minute newscasts during the week, just to kind of get just a few of the headlines. Because, you know, like I said, I've got all these different jobs. I've got 4 jobs. And I was like, how am I promoting myself? I wasn't promoting myself at all. So I'm like, let's put it all in one place. All the communities, greater community building together. So Greater Wilton Manors Facebook, Greater Wilton Manors YouTube, john.jmhcreative@gmail.com for news tips. And please, you know, I like to say we're not building a channel, we're building a community.
Oh, I love that.
Love it too.
I love that. Thank you, John. Keep supporting local voices, and folks at home, you want to stay informed. If you're not following Greater Wilton Manors, and you're not getting the full scoop as to what's going on in the community that you're a part of, right? The community that you spend your money every day at, that you know, blood, sweat, and tears, right? Know what's going on around you for your own good. The midterms will be here before you know it. I mean, there's so many things that are coming up that even if you think that they won't affect you, you're wrong. Yeah. They will affect you. They affect your kids. They affect your marriage. They affect where you shop. They affect you. So keep it tuned. Make sure that you know what's going on with this beautiful face. There it is. Yeah. And stay informed and take care of each other. All right. Thank you, John Hayden, for being on the FayWhat Show.
Thank you, FayWhat.
All right. You got to give them your best FayWhat. You're absolutely right. Give them your best FayWhat. 1, 2, 3.
FayWhat.